Hello, everybody. I'm Kayla Small, Communications Coordinator with Sherrard School District, and I'm here today with Casey Wyant, new principal over at Sherrard Grade School, and he's a Sherrard alumni. He takes Connie Fry's place since she retired. Mr. Wyant, can you just talk a little bit about yourself and where you were posted prior to your role with Sherrard?
Absolutely. Um, I started off doing a lot of my student teaching in town in like Moline and did some guest teaching for folks, and then was lucky enough to land a position as a fourth grade teacher out of Sierra Hanna out in Orion. So I was out there for 3 years. I then found a position. I was super excited. I always wanted to be a kindergarten or first grade teacher. There was a first grade position opened up in Davenport. So I taught first grade for 4 years out there. My principal really pushed me to be part of the administrative team and to just go in and kind of dip my toes in the water. So I ended up going back to school down at Western. Uh, Loved being, it was called a school administrative manager. That was my position at Davenport. It's kind of like a fancy assistant principal type job. I worked at the same school that I taught at for 2 years, and then I was transferred for another year. So I did 3 years of assistant principalship, the same position. And then this position came open, and I tell you what, I could sleep for weeks getting ready to apply and be a part of it. Just super excited. So I am back out in Sherrard, and all of my years of experience elsewhere have really helped to prepare me to come on back out. So I'm pumped.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what a year to start. Who would have expected that?
Is something going on, or no? Yeah, yes. Still, no less exciting. Still very excited though.
Absolutely. Could you just walk us through what a day at Sherrard Elementary School will look like now in light, of course, of the coronavirus measures we have in place?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm relatively new, as you can tell. I've been to coach through what typically happens during the school day and things that we've had to modify due to all the new regulations and making sure that we're helping students to space out. We're making sure that safety is number one priority and then building those relationships. But if I was a student that was showing up, either A, I'm coming in the bus, I'm a walker, I'm getting dropped off in the morning, and the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have my temperature checked and my symptoms to make sure that there's nothing going on, that I feel safe, that my friends are going to feel safe, my teachers feel safe. And after I'm able to come on in the building, I can either come in and get some breakfast in the cafeteria, or I'd be heading on outside for that. It's a morning recess, but more of a time to be able to see our friends and get ready to start the day. If I was a student that went in for breakfast as well as lunch, I'm going to see different spaces in there. I might not be sitting right next to my friend, but I'll be able to see them. They can hear me. It's really the only place in the school where my mask is going to be off during the day. If I'm a student, I'm worried about that mask during the day. I want the students as well as teachers to know there's going to be opportunities to take them off. If we're in our classrooms and we're learning, I need a drink or something for a moment, I can pull that mask up for a second. I can take that drink. It's not something that anybody's going to be, oh my goodness, your mask. It's that we're working together to make sure that everybody stays safe that way. A lot of the procedures that were in place are still going to be in place. It's just going to be a little bit of extra space in between people. We might take a little bit of more time with the things that we do. So we aren't rushing through everything just to make it happen. We're here at school for a reason. And we're making sure that we're meeting those purposes all day long, but we're also making sure that people are safe. If I go out to recess at lunch recess time, there's going to be different activities. It's more of a structured recess now, which sounds a little bit intimidating, but I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty pumped for it. Mr. Stanky's going to be out there. Ms. Tully's going to be out there. There's going to be gym activities like PE activities outside, some music activities outside. We're working really hard right now to get a path set up. So there's going to be a walking area for students, because we know with the equipment being closed off for a while, we're going to want some activities to be able to do out there too. Now, I know I'm spending a lot of time on recess, but come on now, that's what we're thinking about when we get back, right? So there's going to be a lot of things to do outside. You'll be out there with your grade level friends coming in for lunch after that. There'll be opportunities in the afternoon as well as the morning for teachers to take their classrooms outside. So it might be that you're outside more some days, you're inside on other days, just kind of depends on the weather. Other things. We might not be seeing all the same smiles that we used to see throughout the day, but I tell you, my friends, when you look somebody in the eye, you can tell. You can tell they're smiling with you, and when we go outside, we'll be sharing those too. So I don't want anybody to be worried about coming in and feeling like they're just going to get lost in the mix, because we're going to be making sure to look and check on everybody throughout the day. Better be checking on me. I'm going to be wearing a mask too. So I just want to make sure that folks are feeling comfortable. It might not be the same at the very beginning of the year as it is mid-year or the end of the year, because we're all making those adjustments. But that's what we really count on, is folks being flexible with us and making sure that we're working together so we can all feel safe, we can all get our education, and then we all get to go home safely at the end of the day too.
Wonderful. That's a great overview. Can you talk a little bit about, you mentioned recess. Can you talk about how lunch will look different for them?
Yes, we're going to be coming in a little bit differently at lunchtime too. So Miss Tracy will be right there in the gym ready to check you in, but our lines are going to go a different order. So that'll be a little bit of a heads up. In the cafeteria, we have 3 friends that can sit at a table. So when we sit at those tables, there will be at least a seat that spaces every person out, and we'll all be facing and looking the same direction just to make sure that we all feel extra safe there too. We can only have so many people in the cafeteria, so if we have extra friends one day, we might have to open different spots up, but otherwise everybody will be sitting in pretty much the exact same spot every single day. It'll be nice to know where you sit every day, but the same, you might not always sit by that same best friend that you want to in there. But don't worry, there'll be time to see him during the day too.
That's great. Thank you. And I
Mhm.
think if I remember correctly, you guys have the hands-free water bottle filler.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we are getting one of those installed, and I think it might be this week that I should be seeing that. I don't know if I'll be the first one to use it. I'll be out there in line ready to use it. But we're going to have to turn all our drinking fountains off except for that one very special one. And that way, all of our students and teachers, too, can use that water bottle filler just like if they were in college and walking and filling them up in the university.
Well, that's exciting. Um, can you talk about how PE will be different as well?
So I've been working with Mr. Stanky quite a bit on what PE is going to look like, and he's been coming up with a lot of ideas too. I don't know that I want to steal any of his thunder and share all of those ideas, but I want folks to know, A, there's going to be PE at school. B, there's going to be PE activities for friends online. And C, when we go out to recess, there's going to be even extra PE things that you can do and take part of. So if you're that friend that just loves PE, there's going to be plenty of that. Going to be plenty of that going on.
That's awesome. So, what would you say to students who are maybe feeling a little bit of anxiety or a little nervous about coming into the school year?
I tell you what, a lot of the adults are probably feeling that same way too. So you're not alone, that's for sure. I know that I feel the same way, and we put those brave faces on, but at the same time, we might feel uneasy sometimes because things are different. They look different than we've seen them. Things can feel more intimidating. But we have to remember that it's the same friends that we've always seen, the same adults behind those masks, the same friends that care about us and want to keep us safe too. If there's times where you don't feel safe, you want to make sure you let somebody know. That's not something that we just want to keep inside all the time. That's not healthy for us, and it doesn't help us to know how to help you. So you want to make sure you talk to the adults in the school. Maybe you just have one adult that you feel comfortable with, but that's the person that you could find and do that. If you're one of our friends that's learning remotely, there's going to be options on there too to be able to reach out. Teachers are going to be checking on you because they care, not because they're nosy. They want to know what's going on in your life because they care. They want to help. I'm going to be checking in on you too. But we have to work together like that. So if you're feeling nervous, that's okay. That's normal. It's something that we all go through. And the important part is to talk about it. That way it doesn't just have to stick up here and feel worse and worse every day like you're alone.
Right, right. I know I definitely have some of my own nerves and anxiety. Um, awesome. I think we covered everything. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that maybe we missed?
My friends, I am learning each and every day. So if you're worried about coming to school and not knowing what's going on, you're looking at Mr. Wyant right now telling you, I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you, we'll find them and we'll work together to get there. Flexibility is what we're focusing on, and we got to understand and collaborate with one another. We got to work together to find those answers. And sometimes we might get the answers we don't like, and sometimes we might get answers that we never expected that make things that much better. But it's all about us being open and talking with one another and building that trust, in all honesty. And I hope that everybody's feeling that same way. And if they aren't, I hope that they're slowly on the path to feel that way with us too. Looking forward to meeting everybody. I'm excited. I've been waiting. Just watching out the window. When are they going to show up? I want to see friends coming.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, if that's all we have to cover, thank you so much for joining me here today. And
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
yes, of course. And of course, thank you so much for all the planning and hard work that you've put into making sure students get to come back and staff to a safe environment, as safe as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you for everybody. I look forward to seeing you and I appreciate your time.
Perfect. We'll see you around, Mr. Wyant.
See you, friends.